Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fitri Cantika Indayani and I'm from TBI-A class, and I make this video to fulfill my assignment from Mr. Wahab, namely Psycholinguistic. Okay. Sorry, I was March because I was sick. First meeting is the introduction of psycholinguistic. Psycholinguistic is a study that unites the disciplines of psychology and linguistics. This can be complicated by the relationship between human thought and language, because the brain process will generate and reserve discourse both spoken and written. This has to do with the ways in which language can be explained and understood and processed in the brain. Second meeting is language and brain compound word. The definition of language can be interpreted as a means of communication. But if the meaning of language is used in language learning, it will involve other means of communication that are not categorized as language. A mean of communication known as language will have characteristic that other mean of communication do not have. And the brain include the cerebrum and brainstem. The brain consists of three main part, namely the forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Okay, forebrain also called the cerebral cortex. The cerebrum in the leg segment of the human brain. And then midbrain it consists of the tegmentum, brain dragnet, cerebral stalk, and several nuclei and fasciculus. And then the hindbrain. The cerebellum. The brain is small but similar to the cerebrum, which has two hemispheres and a folded surface. This conquered regulation and posture, proportion and heart center and breathing. Brainstem. The brainstem is located under the limbic system. Its function is for vital life, such as heart rate, respiration, and blood pressure. And then pons function for part of the nervous system, including the cerebrum and cerebrum. Many important nervous organs form the pons, including the trigeminal nerve. What function is to harvest in the face and control the much less what function is to beat, swallow, or chew. And then medulla. The function of the medulla is to function as a support for life without realizing it as we breathe and the hair breathe. This brain stem also have move nerve message to the brain on the spinal cord, which is located in the brains of the spinal cord and brain. Okay, and then third meeting is language centered, and the structure of cerebral cortex, among others, frontal lobes, problem solving, planning, impulse control, and social sexual behavior. And then parietal lobes, information processing, speech, pain and touch sensation, spatial orientation, and cognition. And then temporal lobes, auditory, emotional and social, and memory. And then occipital lobes, rearmost portion of the brain and visual processing area. And then the fourth meeting, lateralization and centralization. Lateralization of function refers to the concept that each hemisphere of the brain in specially form different function. Each hemisphere control the counter or opposite side of the body. Example: skin receptor and mucus mainly on the right side of the body. And then centralization, the act or process of centralizing or the state of being. And then centralize, the act or process of combining or reducing several parts into a whole. And the last, centralization is the degree to which decision making takes place at upper level of the organization. And then the last, verb meeting is apasia. Verb meeting is apasia. Apasia is categories express or occurrence of developing language with appropriate words. Many several people have combination of the two types. In totality, apasia can vary a degree of the make depending on the part of the brain that has been injured and the extent of the injury and language barrier can occur simultaneously with other conditions such as dysentery, apraxia, and cognitive impairment. Apasia does not affect intelligence. And then okay, I think enough from me, and sorry because I'm study and this is my explanation, sir. In the last I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.